Hello and welcome or welcome back to my little corner of the internet. Now that I've gone through the Darvo-ness of it all, I just want to address some of the more practical aspects in comparing Andy Signor and Colleen Ballinger. Colleen had group chats where she normalized talking about inappropriate subjects with children. Andy Signor's targets were slash are maybe abuse and trauma survivors that he took or takes advantage of. Some he managed to convince to send him illicit pictures and or videos, and he just downright stole the content of one victim's OnlyFans. Colleen shared Trisha Paytas's illicit pictures slash videos with the aforementioned group of minors and a couple of adult buddies. Andy Signor shared the content of Jade's OnlyFans and the aforementioned pics and or videos with his cohorts. He also snuck videos of him being intimate with his now wife that he also shared or attempted to share with his victims. Colleen creates a very dismissive, non-apology video set to song accompanied by a ukulele. Andy Signor continuously calls his victims crazy, clout-chasing, home-wrecking stalker psychopaths. Colleen Ballinger was originally called out 3 years ago in 2020, which she also addressed with explanations that are eerily similar to her earworm of a song. It's sort of like she's trying to gaslight the public. Andy was Me Too'd in 2018, 3 years before he hit up Brit in 2021. He managed to scrounge up messages proving that one of his 9 victims from 2018 he'd had a consensual affair with at some point in time. He made a video with this unquote evidence in 2019 that he pulls out whenever it suits him, which he uses to gaslight the general public into thinking he's somehow the perpetual victim. Both refuse to admit to any wrongdoing except for on the surface level. For many years, Colleen's victims were ashamed and scared to step forward, believing that they were the ones in the wrong. Andy's victims feel much the same, which is why only 2 who were affected by his sex pest ways have come out so far. A few more have spoken out about how he treats his mods and those that work for free and his Headlines group, helping to craft the stories that he covers daily, and now seeking what he terms as quote-unquote pop culture justice, which I will say again is not an actual thing. Both like to toot their own horns when it comes to helping those less fortunate. And said help seems a bit sus. Paige Christie has an awesome breakdown of the problem with Colleen Ballinger's charity work. I'll put a link in the cards up top in the description below to this particular video. But that people having questions isn't hating, it's people being socially responsible really strikes a chord. So in the video, she also highlights Colleen's BFF, Corey, taking people to task for wondering about charity money. Andy Signor just blocks anybody who questions him on anything. I've already addressed the issue of Andy's charity work in another video, which I'll also leave a card and link to. Hosting a charity live stream is a wonderful thing, but if it's done just to shut down naysayers and tout themselves, it strikes a sour note. I believe this is called virtue signaling. According to Oxford Languages, virtue signaling is a derogatory noun that means the public expression of opinions or sentiments intended to demonstrate one's good character or social conscience or the moral correctness of one's position on a particular issue. Both Andy Signor's and Colleen Ballinger's rabid stans and simps attack victims recounting of what they endured at the hands of these two. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't address the next issue, although I'd for sure like to just leave it alone. However, it has bothered me for months and seems to be heading in what could be a very dangerous direction, so I'll just get to it. If Andy Signor had even an ounce of integrity, he'd stay in the background as much as possible regarding the Captain Corey Foundation, but he just can't seem to help himself. Good people quietly help without tooting their own horn. For example, did you know that Emily D. Baker got in touch with the YouTube creator liaison, Renee Ritchie, in order to help expedite Corey's silver play button? And again, when Corey's channel was taken down? Probably not, because she didn't feel it necessary to post about it all over Twitter. Self-aware folks understand that children and curse words, lawsuits and sexual innuendos do not belong together. Now, before anybody yells at me, please know that I adore Corey and his family, and I wholeheartedly support them. I cried when Pixie posted her video letting us know of Corey's passing. I'm a boy mom, I get it, but I cannot fully understand her pain. Nobody can. And the whole idea of someone like Andy Signor capitalizing off of it makes me ill. By all means, share links, even raise funds, but decent people do not insert themselves into a child's life and legacy. Not like this anyway. I think if Andy truly cared about Corey, he would have stepped in to help grant his final wish, to see his mom get a silver play button. As far back as February 1st, there were posts on Twitter regarding it. To my knowledge, he didn't say a damn word. Although the co-owner of his channel did a stream the night before Corey left this world. What's the saying? Far too little, far too late, in my opinion. I guess a tatted, pierced 40-something-year-old goth mom doesn't look nearly as worthy as a sick 11-year-old child. Just me? Personally, I do not try to derail heartfelt threads, but I will for damn sure quote tweet someone in an attempt to bring awareness. If folks have time to look at said quote tweets, they have time to investigate the veracity of my claims, in my opinion. But most don't. They just get mad at me for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's to chastise me for being mean, and other times it's for simply using a well-known feature of the Twitter platform. But the worst, to me, is the victim blaming. Every part of me wants to protect the vulnerable, those that can easily be taken advantage of, those that can and are used for all sorts of vile purposes, from boosting social status to keeping or being someone's dirty little secret. All of it is simply reprehensible, in my opinion. I think one of the most infuriating things was Steph saying that they, meaning she and Andy, had done the quote-unquote heavy lifting. No. Corey and his mom, his whole family, they did the quote-unquote heavy lifting. As someone with chronic illness, you of all people should realize that. Then again, as a child SA survivor, you purposely blind yourself to Andy's perverse ways, so... And actually, Kim does too. Further, the whole idea that you think it's A-okay for a community of trauma and abuse survivors to be used for clicks, clout, and cash, and Andy's dirty secrets is also reprehensible. I don't know how any of you can look at yourselves in the mirror. Maybe money also makes you blind? Allegedly, in my opinion. So, to get back to the whole Andy Signore and Colleen Ballinger comparison, I find it a little ironic that he has only done 2 videos on her, which is a total of not even an hour of content, clipped anyway, because Andy's live streams are put into the members only area once he's done, and he just clips out little bits and pieces to post his videos. Maybe he realizes they seem very alike. Allegedly, in my opinion,